Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
And good evening, good day, good afternoon, whichever time it is you are viewing this accounting of Real Housewives of New Jersey Season 12 reunion. I'm going to combine parts 2 and 3 and just call it the reunion finale. How about that? Thanks again for tuning in. This is Ray Ray All Day on YouTube, and I'm so excited that you tuned in. Please hit that like button. Subscribe for all. When you hit subscribe and then you see that bell, you got to go to the top choice and it'll say alert or whatever, pretty much alerting you of all of everything I do, not just a bit or maybe none, and it'll turn black. And when it turns black, that means you will be back. Hey, there you go. Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 12, reunion finale, child. Okay, I said I was going to combine part 2 and 3. Part 2 was like this. It was boring. See, my voice changed. It was boring. So we're going to move on to part 3 because it was really nothing there. Okay, part 2 just really made me mad a little bit because Duke Goop is just goop dooping. And no one's checking her the way she needs to be checked. I'm really thinking her education was probably similar to Portia's. The non-public schools, possibly, or some heavy tutoring or something. There's just some lacking going on with the rationale, of it all. The decision-making piece of her frontal lobe. I wonder what she dropped on her head because, it's kind of wide. No shade. Just maybe a little flattened up a little bit when maybe coming out there was some obstruction during labor and maybe the pelvic muscles could have shaped, the cranium. Well, no, because that's not true. That's bone. All I know is something missing. So we're going to move on to part 3. Part 3, woo! The finale, woo! Okay, the guys, I got notes. I just want you to hear my notes, okay? I got notes here. And we're going to go down the list. The guys are too made for TV for me. I'm like, these dudes are just what TV is looking for in a husband of these these trifling housewives. I know they're not trifling, but we gotta call them something. These trifling housewives, their husbands are a hoot. Their significant others are a hoot. I would have imagined Louis not join this season on the stage since he's not a husband. However, Dupe Goop is going Goop Dupe. So it is what it is. He's not, I just, if she wants to be all this, official and everything, then I just think it would have been better had he just been there supporting her, not on stage as her husband. Now, Frank, on the other hand, he was her husband, so he has status. And that's how he's represented on the show since day one. No matter what has been going on, Frank has been Dolores' husband. So I can see why he was there. He'll always be there. That's just a couple, period. But yeah, they even had their own Watch What Happens Live after, and that was a hoot and a half. Let's get into that real quick. Yeah, that Watch What Happens Live. Just a cute little, couple of notes. Um, Joe don't give a damn about Goop Doop. Like he said, part 2. I'm done with you. No, I'm just trying to say how you say. I don't want to offend nobody, but you know how they use the S use. He was serious. I remember when Caroline use or no. What did she tell Danielle? Stop. We are thick as thieves, and how she said it was very Italian, more so than her usual conversation or even speech tone diction. She was really giving it to Danielle Staub, like, bitch, I know, I know you just didn't do whatever she did. I think it has something to do with Lexi, and Lexi was a teenager because Dina was hot as fish grease. If y'all remember, Dina was hot as fish grease on that reunion show when Caroline gave it to Danielle about something dirty and slimy Danielle did. And anyway, yeah, Joe ain't here for Goop Doop, and I don't blame him. He told her, and part 2, you ain't shit. And, she was calling him, siding with Nosy with all the insults. And I'm like, how you just gonna let, first of all, no matter what color you are, calling a man a bitch is does not fare well from a woman, no matter what the relationship is or lack thereof. It never fares well, not to no man. And in that tone. You know what I'm saying? As an insult. I really think it I really think it offends letterfolk when you're meaning to insult a man by calling him a B. Excuse me. I think that's like universal. I could be wrong, but I think it is. I ain't a man, but I'm just saying. It offends me. I don't do the B word. You know, now I've said it a few times, in my reviews, but this is just review. This is not me talking to people, calling them the so and so. No, I don't play around with friends like that. We don't do no. That's not my judge. I stay out that. That's not my ministry. I stay out of that. And the next issue. Now, my favorite rom com is Love Jones. I don't understand what folks don't understand about rom com. It's just, I think that's the best genre next to sci fi. Ooh, I love sci fi. Aliens, all the Aliens movies. Ooh, all of them are bomb. Anyway, Love Jones is my favorite. I just want to put that on out there. So back to the reunion. We left the guys alone. They did their thing. No, they apologized. Oh, wait, that's one thing. I like that drink game where they were, forgive or drink or whatever the case was. That was cute. I like that. It was, more of the camaraderie that the men have for each other, and it was pretty fair. They all are decent guys, I think, but Louis, you know, he said what it was, and Sarate, man, Sister Dolores is mad, y'all. At the beginning, with the first 8 minutes, oh, Frank made her mad. Apparently, he went against the family the way she was looking. Ooh, and Andy brought it out like, ooh, Dolores ain't looking a little too happy right now. It's the maddest we ever seen her. She woo, and I can tell because he said something about her man, and they already got beef, chicken, turkey, shrimp, whatever the case is, mariscos, whatever the case is. And apparently that didn't help the situation. So I'm sure Dolores had to straighten that out in some form of fashion. But yeah, Dolores was MAD. That's the first time I seen her like that. Okay. All right. The next Louis. Okay, Louis. He says communication is key, but Goop Doop can't communicate, y'all. Y'all see how she talks. Y'all see how she relates to people. Y'all see how she just forms illogical, delusional, revolutionary ideals to make the situation fit how she feels about the person that she's going after. Does that make sense? I hope it do. It makes sense to me. But it's she illogical. Illogical. Period. Okay? The next one, I love Melissa. Melissa gets the MVP of this season. She was a lady. You know, her and Joe are in a great place. It seemed like, she did the work. Whatever, I'm sure he did too. But talking about Melissa, she's the MVP, y'all. She, you know, she was the MVP. Period. And what? Okay, Melissa gave an explanation for Marge, for in favor for Marge's side with the issue with Teresa, with Goop Doop. And then Goop Doop looking at her like, I can't believe you are taking her. Well, I think she was really computing what Melissa was saying, thinking, oh, excuse me, thinking that it just looked like the wheels were turning. Like, is Goop Doop gonna say something, or is she gonna just come out of a bag? Like, what is going on? It looks like it like to me. It looked like the wheels were turning, and she was trying to figure it out. Like, is that on my side or Marge's? Yeah, Goop, it was on Marge's side. Yes, like Melissa said, she gave the explanation that Marge is just trying to help, even though she is in people's business. It was never anything malicious, to hurt Goop. And she flipped her hair and kicked her heels up, child. I was rolling like, yeah, I said it. Like she said in the previous part, we don't believe you anymore. You say one thing, do another. You say you believe in family, but you leave family out. You all these different things to please your particular narrative, and we don't believe you anymore. And there's Joe, pretty much giving her the blues. Joe, like now part 2 was a little heated, when he was upset. However, I'd be mad too if, I'm being insulted by my sister who thrives on having her back at any given moment. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Melissa did the damn thing. This finale. So we go back to Louis. It was a lot of Louis and Doop Goop, of course. So Louis puts the heat on Goop Doop when asked about how he feels about the situation. And she's mad as fish grease at the wrong person. But Louis was like, nah, I don't blame Marge at all. I'm like, okay. So pretty much he's asked a question, and it pretty much makes Goop Doop look like the bad person in the whole situation. Yeah, good job, Louis. But on the Watch What Happens Live, he's sipping drinks so that he doesn't say anything against Goop Doop. Doesn't that sound like something she made him do? Because I'm sure she said that before. Don't go against me. I don't know, y'all. Goop dooping. Another thing, why? Okay, if nothing was serious, why would the popo be called on him? Now, accusations are accusations, and in the heat of the moment, certain crimes of passion, heats of passion, making wrong decisions off of passion can make or break a situation. And I can understand feeling heated and mad on with your mate and feeling like I just want, feeling like whatever, and having 911, looking at calling 911 as the woman, of course, really, no man should call 911 on his woman. I mean, really, hey, 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 let's just be real about it. Let's just be real. Now, unless she is just beating on you like someone has, that's one thing. But, men don't call a popo on a woman. It's just not the thing to do. Period. But yeah, all the accusations, but they are a mofo. But then he did not deny being toxic in his last work. He didn't deny. Now, he did deny beating. Now, that's a good thing. You always deny that because that'll, you shut that down. But all the other things, slashing tires, he did not deny. Yeah. Those things he did not deny. But the only thing he denied was physical to her, direct physical to her, which I hope he didn't. Now, I haven't read any of those accusations, just from what Andy said on the show. That's where I'm getting my info from. Just from that, I'm like, wow. Not even what Marge said, just the conversation between Andy and Louie. That's where I'm getting my summations from. Like, okay. Because this really ain't that deep for me to go digging about who said what and where it came from. Because it's not that big of a deal to even report on. It's just a little something that needs to be addressed, right? Now, Bill checkmates Nosy. She was like, what? She just knew Bill was not gonna admit, but girl, it's on camera. It's on tape. It's on Memorex. It won't even lie. It's on Memorex. Forever, 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 ever, ever. Yes. Yes, Nosy. And that's what he said. I remember what he said at the time. Well, at the time that they aired it for the first time, I remember what he said. Mm-hmm. And he said you was wrong. Mm-hmm. He may have said it more than once. But I know he said at least once. Mm-hmm. Checkmate. I don't like Nosy because she a little too mouthy, and she and her and I could never work together because I don't think so. So Melissa backs up Joe against Nosy, since we talking about Nosy and all her noseness, as Melissa should have. Well, if he went at you, then he has a right to. If you're talking about him, if you're talking to him, we all know that the guys talk to the guys and the girls talk to the girls, but you want to address the guys. So he's going to address you. And yeah, I back him up 100,000%. That's right, Melissa. MVP. That's why I'm saying Melissa's the MVP. She's all around playing her position and looking the best out of everybody. I'm just saying. I ain't saying because her size and all that, nothing like that. I'm just saying she's just looking and feeling and acting the best. Her behavior was on point. She wasn't causing drama. She was putting out fires, still representing putting her mothering first and really honing in on her family and Joe, making sure that they work and just keeping things excuse me, tight in her household as a wife should. Wife and mother should, okay? Big ups to Melissa, period. Yeah. Again, Nosy got her face cracked. Ha ha. When she got her face cracked about that mess, talking crap, when she was trying to explain why, but the fact that she was digging, it doesn't matter why or how or, chicken before the egg, it doesn't matter. All that doesn't even matter, girl. Mm-mm. The fact that you went ahead and performed did those behaviors that got even the men upset is a proven fact that, girl, bye, grow up. Okay, so Louis don't blame, like I said before, Louis doesn't blame Marge, but Goop Doop do. And Andy got mad. Oh, I thought he was gonna bust out of his clothes like the Hulk. I guess he had to get real indignant since they've been claiming he's been more indignant with some browner folks. Even though there's some brown folks on this show, but yeah, how interesting. Just saying. Just saying. And I like how Marge gave Teresa a double FU. She was so fed up by this point with everything Teresa has been coming at her with, just back and forth, just ping ponging the insults and all of that, and the hypocrisy of it all, and the illogical of it all. Marge gave a double FU at the end. I know that's right. And I'm sick of Doop Goop. For the final toast, isn't it interesting that Andy chose a black woman to lead the prayer?